Hey folks, Quilly here, letting you know that there will be an extra live stream this week. Tomorrow, Thursday, October the 30th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, there will be a TIE Fighter live stream over on the GOG.com Twitch channel, twitch.tv/GOGCom. TIE Fighter, just like X-Wing, are some of my favorite combat flight sims ever, or space combat simulations, I guess you could call it. In the background, you can see me play TIE Fighter. This is not a live recording, simply because I could not defeat the mission on hard while talking. It was just a little bit too difficult. This comes back in the day when games were pretty unforgiving. And in TIE Fighter especially, a game where you can play as many different Imperial ships, when you're flying the actual TIE Fighter, TIE Fighters do not have shields. So one hit is pretty much all it takes to kill you. So one little mistake can really sink you here. Here, this is the very first mission of the very first campaign, where I have to inspect some freighters and transport ships that are passing through the area. It's immediately after the Battle of Hoth, so we're trying to see if there's any rebels that might be trying to sneak through our sector on their way out of Hoth. In fact, I did find one. The Transport 3 there, or Cargo Ship 3, had some rebels on it, so by scanning it, I'm dispatching a transport ship over there to go and disable the ship and board it and capture the rebels. Yeah, so we're going to be live streaming this game. I really like it. Obviously, the stream is going to be sponsored by GOG.com. It is a site that I like. It is games. These are games that I really like, but, you know, just full disclosure there. That stream is going to be that. It is, and like I said, it's a very unforgiving game, so expect me to die a lot, but it's super fun. The biggest disappointment is that the music in the game is amazing. Well, how's that a disappointment? Well, it's the actual music from actual Star Wars, which makes it amazing when you're playing the game, but unfortunately YouTube will actually mute the videos if I have the audio playing in the background. So I have to mute the music, which is, it just kills me. So if you do play the game yourself, you should get a much better time of it. Every time you my little HUD, you get that little red light that comes up. That means that someone is currently training their lasers on me. So I've got to break into some pretty incredible defensive maneuvers here to get them to shake them off, because if they do hit me with one laser cannon bolt, one probably won't kill me, but it might disable most of my ship, and the second one definitely will. So gotta make sure I don't get targeted. I had to try this mission a bunch of times. What happens is, if you defeat this wave of initial shuttles, which are pretty easy to fight, they turn really slow, and I'm in a hyper-maneuverable ship. So these guys are easy to fight, but if I defeat them, a wave of, like, more powerful sort of, they're similar kind of shuttles, but they have, like, a turret in the back, which targets me, and they also go relatively quick, so they're really bad. So I had to try this mission a bunch of times before I sort of realized that kind of the trick is to leave the last one alone. I do have some other TIE fighters in the area. They're going to fight them. So when it's down to one, there's a little chance that this remaining shuttle will target me, and then I can go and complete my job of scanning any other cargo ships that happen to come through the area. It is worth noting, though, that after I scan the initial 2 sets of ships, that, you know, the thing that happened in like the first minute and a half, I could then go home. I could complete my mission right then. The only reason that things are being kind of difficult here is because I'm trying to complete all the secondary and bonus objectives in the mission. And that's all. If I wasn't worried about that, this would actually be a relatively easy mission, even on hard difficulty. The later missions are a little bit more forgiving, simply in that the ships, all the other ships you can fly in TIE Fighter. So you get the TIE Fighter, obviously, but the TIE Interceptor, TIE Bomber, TIE Defender, the Gunboat, and I think later there's like a TIE Fighter Advanced. All the other ships have shields, which means that you have a tiny margin of error technically going on there, because you can afford to get hit, you know, once, basically, and it doesn't really hurt you. And you can let your shields recharge, so that helps a lot. Here we got some Corellian Corvettes that are passing through. Classically, the Millennium Falcon, of course, is an example of a Corellian Corvette. Most of them are just freighters. That one's been souped up quite a bit, so these guys are just scanning them. Then we've got some big cargo transports over here I've got to scan. So basically what it is scan the first 2 waves, establish the rebels, wait for the transport ship to board and grab the rebels. Do beat the first line of shuttles just to make sure they don't kill our troop transports, and then wait around long enough for the second wave of transport ships to come up. But here, and I didn't realize this was a thing, as I'm scanning through here, there's a rebel transport called the Glitch, which doesn't show up on my list of objectives. But as I'm flying back to my base, keep in mind, my TIE Fighter does not have hyperspace capabilities. So I can't hyperspace out. I got to go back to my base. Here I'm like, I'm hitting my hotkey for the closest fighter. I'm like, wait, what the hell is this? Well, that's green. That's clearly Rebel. The Imperials are red, the Rebels are green, which is the exact same colors as if you play X-Wing. So in X-Wing, you're used to red being the enemy, but in TIE Fighter, it's the other way around. So I'm like, I guess I'll shoot this thing? It's like, all right. You do have to watch out for these transport ships. They do technically have a gun in the front. I got close enough to scan it here. I was trying not to run into it. I mean, it is nice to fight when you're up close and personal, but sometimes you can get killed by flying debris, I think. So, like, oh, there's rebels. And then I'm checking the waypoints. I'm like, this is not the thing carrying rebels back to my base or anything, is it? No, it's just trying to escape. It's trying to get to a waypoint. Well, I killed it, and I'm like, oh, all right. Well, it didn't tell me I failed the mission. There's still one of those initial enemy shuttles up. And so it's probably going around dogfighting with the TIE fighters. In this mission here, everyone's got the AIs are all pretty, like, low-level AIs, so they're pretty incompetent. In some of the missions, you get, like, it's amazing the kind of game. The different waves of ships will have different experienced pilots on them. And as well as different individual missions. So you'll get one mission where it's like you're fighting off some some Y-wings, and some of them are on a bombing run towards your base, but others are just trying to fight you. And some of them are better, and some of them are worse. You can see I already got bonus gold, which felt pretty good. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up, so I did want to let you guys know about the live stream, and do stay tuned. I will try to get it up on YouTube. Keep in mind there will be no music, which is disappointing, but I like TIE Fighter so much I might do a full Let's Play
discovered a freighter
because I haven't played this in like 20 years, and
from their base on
this is a great game, and it deserves a lot more love. So
I
I may very well go ahead and do this, as long as you guys are willing to put me up, watch me die. I tried to record this video before with live commentary, and I spent like 30 minutes. I ran the mission like 5 or 6 times, and like died. One time I died by actually running into a TIE fighter, or I think mostly it ran into me during dogfighting, but anyway, them's the breaks. Alright guys, see you in the live stream, and stay tuned for more content. Bye-bye.